Seen things you people wouldn't believe.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talks, you'll hear them speak. It's only Monday. Tomorrow never comes until it's too late.
I can fix that.
I'm giving you a night call to tell you how I feel.
And Rohan will answer.
I want to drive you through the night, down the hills. I gotta tell you something you don't want to hear. I'm gonna show you where it's dark, but have no fear.
There's something inside you. It's hard to explain. They're talking about you, boy, but you're still the same. There's something inside you. It's hard to explain. They're talking about you, boy, but you're still the same.
I'm giving you a night call to tell you how I feel.
And Rohan will answer.
I want to drive you through the night, down the hills.
And Rohan will answer.
I gotta tell you something you don't want to hear.
And Rohan will answer.
I'm gonna show you where it's dark, but have no fear.
There's something inside you. It's hard to explain. They're talking about you, boy, but you're still the same. There's something inside you. It's hard to explain. They're talking about you, boy, but you're still the same. There's something inside you. There's something inside you. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. They're talking about you, boy, but you're still the same.
Welcome back, everybody, to Catch Up Monday here at Hold My Dual Shock, where it's always a good place to be. Why are you putting your hands like that?
I was legitimately caught by surprise. I wasn't ready. Roll it back. Start over so I can be prepared.
No.
Okay.
But welcome, everybody. let's jump straight into the chat because there's lots of things to discuss today. What's up, Jack? Welcome.
Welcome.
Why are you pointing?
I've been watching too much. Well, I was already doing it because I thought it was cool. Because like my man Steve Zissou goes, but I've been watching too much Shrinking, and one of the characters does that.
I was like, what are you doing?
I'm off today.
Moving on.
I'm off today.
Yeah. Where to move on? What's up, Lieutenant Garatina says, good evening, my dualies. Here at Hold My Dual Shock, still no glimmer of hope for the box office, unfortunately. No, there is not. I think the closest glimmer of hope is going to be the Mario movie.
It kind of feels like cinema's declining. Kind of feels like
just a little bit.
Not a good thing, by the way. I say that, and I don't want it to be the case because when I have observations, I feel like people think, well, this motherfucker wants cinema to be dead.
Yes.
I'm not. I don't. I love going to the theater.
But Andy also likes being right.
I also notice patterns.
Yeah.
Good with patterns and puzzles. Putting things where they belong.
And Legos.
Yes, some of my strong suits. And yeah.
I thought it was hilarious on our last live stream where Andy said he was humble, but he also likes being proven right.
I am the most humble. The most humble I've ever been.
Quoted him in the chat.
But I'm also never wrong. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's my cross to bear.
Yeah. Justin Patton, welcome. He says, have a blessed stream, Katie and Andy. Poor Bride. They need to create real stories with new characters. Please don't mess Gollum up. Have fun tonight. I can't wait to get into all of it. It's going to be exciting. Yes, and thank you, Ronnie, as well as I saw multiple other people posting the same message. Greatly appreciated. Please hit the like button, you guys, if you haven't already. It lets YouTube know more, YouTube notify more people that we're live. Yeah. I said that in the weirdest way possible, but you got what I meant, okay? What's up, General Kenobi? What's up, Nadia? My homegirl says, I told myself I would only play like an hour of Pokemon. Yeah, today, 4 hours later. Which, by the way, if anyone does not know, Pokemon is the new Pokemon game that Pokepia. That's swindling people, by the way.
How's this swindling people?
Because so it was originally $69.99, sold out everywhere. They put it on Amazon for $80, and that also sold out.
Why was it more on Amazon?
Because it was sold out everywhere else.
Is it Amazon's platform fee bullshit, or
I don't know?
For people who've never worked with Amazon, Amazon doesn't let you just sell shit on their thing for free. They take a cut too.
Well, so that's probably why it was raised the price, and it's also now sold out on Amazon. So if
things are often not cheaper on Amazon.
Andy, you were pronunciating it right.
No, that was what?
Pronunciating. I don't know.
Pronunciation.
Pronouncing it right. Lord have mercy. Okay. God, I'm having a stroke.
He is pronunciating it correctly.
I fucking hate you. Damn, pronouncing it correctly, whatever.
You swear you grew up in like seersucker or something. It's so bad.
What's up, Thronkill? Oh my goodness. Shut up. Moving on. Thronkill says I need to send Andy a quarter zip to get this club off the ground.
I agree. Let's talk about opportunities.
Let's talk about opportunities. Move your mic back so you stop hitting it.
That's one of the opportunities. So now that we've knocked that opportunity back, let's talk about other opportunities. We've been doing this for a little while now, and I'm disturbed by the lack of brand endorsement. Would it kill Ralph Lauren to send me a quarter zip? What the fuck is that about? I look good at quarter zip. I'm currently without.
I look good at quarter zip.
I'm currently without quarter zip. I know from the complaints that people at Ralph Lauren have seen this channel. Your move.
Foolish. So somebody send Andy a quarter zip so we can get this club off the ground. What's up, Junko? Welcome, CD Stein. And to your point, CD Stein, about the rant about Lindelof and lanterns, homie, we did a whole video. I'm going to start a second channel.
It's going to be a men's fashion channel. It's going to be called Zip Ties. It's
Zip
quarter
ties.
Zips and ties. And how men can put these two things together for any occasion, because a quarter zip and a tie can work good in an office, at a funeral for someone you didn't especially care for, a wedding for people you don't especially care for. The quarter zip and tie is the solution for the man who knows he needs to wear a tie, but he's like, the fuck I'm putting on a suit. It's not happening.
Nadia says, so white, Andy. Also,
White.
Eugene, welcome. And update to everybody. Yeah, we started a little bit early today because we're going to see The Bride later on tonight. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, just a little bit earlier. Apologies in advance. Lord have mercy. What's up, No Shame? Says, hey, everyone. King of the Manties, what's up? What's up, VP? VP
One
was
of our legendary mods.
he was so disappointed in me in the way I just pronounced.
Yeah. What's up, Ron? Copperman is his friend of Real Life Fake Wizard. Awesome.
Oh,
dude.
awesome. What's up? Welcome. Happy you could join us. Grave, what's up? You said I had an odd realization earlier. The only Fast and Furious movie actually about cars is the third one. The rest are just about family, people.
Shit, dog.
But yeah.
Steal that for another experimental video we do that nobody watches. That would be that would be such a good video, right?
It would.
Like the only Fast and Furious spot, but again, nobody would.
Yeah.
And Tokyo Drift is the third one. Are you saying that Tokyo Drift is the only
one really about cars? Yeah. Everyone else is. It's about the first one's technically not about cars. It's about them trying to uncover
generational trauma.
Yeah.
From his dead dad and shit. You know.
Yeah. So that's saying like, oh, I think technically he's correct.
Number 2 is about finding a way to.
I don't really remember.
Gibson. I don't know what that was about.
So yeah, 3 I think really is the only one.
And after 3, they all just kind of blend together.
Yeah. Nadia, member for 11 months, which, by the way, Nadia, as well as anyone else who is still at the bottom tier for our memberships, upgrade your membership because the bottom tier is going away after this month. She said, I mean, it is Q1.
I assume that's about the box office.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If we live where we break down every single trend into just itty bitty increments, it's easy to like move it around and make it
move the needle. Yeah.
Well, to ignore the overarching trend. Last year was down. Like every year, you see the box offices are getting lower. The number of billion-dollar films are getting lower. The number of mid-level films are getting lower. And every year they say, "Oh, but this year's going to be the year that bails us out." It was what they say last year is like, "Wait to 25."
Yeah, wait to 25. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's wait till 2026.
And it's just, you start to notice it's like, I don't think the audience is coming back because there's so many flaws in the movie going experience. Right
100%. And then this year, the excuse is going to be like, well, we were in a war and there's a bunch of other
stuff. About the war.
Yeah.
And like we talked about Bone Bridges, they're absolutely going to blame the World Cup and say,
yes,
that it turns out soccer is way more popular in America than we thought, you know.
Well, and we're also hosting it. So, yeah. And that it's a big deal internationally. Yeah. There's going to be a ton of people traveling. So then, of course, they're not going to go to the theaters.
When we are on Bone Bridgers and we look at the box offices from previous years, you just start to notice that a lot more films made a lot more money. Like even the failures back then made more money than things that we have them try and sell us as successes now. And that's without, digital and physical sales making up for it,
Exactly. Dark Stud said, what's up, everyone? Greetings from SoCal. LAX airport sucks. Yeah. Agreed. But I'm happy you're here and stay safe. Yes. Tish, what's up? Says, but Hollywood makes such great movies and really values our feedback and interest. I'm sure the box office will be saved any day now, Andy.
Yeah. Grave says it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. Do you know that song?
No.
I would feel like you being from the Midwest would absolutely have heard that song. Kitty needs to learn it and come on stream and sing it.
C. Stein said, we sure as hell know that the absolute feminist fever dream dumpster fire The Bride isn't going to help theaters in any way. Highly doubtful.
It might drive people to see the next Jason Statham flick. Who knows?
You never know.
We call these things push films.
Mm-hmm.
We make a film, and I haven't seen the film yet. We're going to see it after this, but I'm going to make the joke anyway. I'm not going to not make the joke. We call them push films, and they push the audience to go see better films.
That's actually very true.
You know how a fire sale works? People think it's just you sell things really cheap. Do you know that you can also start fires and help that people will pay for things like water or fire extinguishers or just for the right to leave the building? There's many ways to make business sense and money in a capitalist economy.
Pretty much.
There's no wrong way.
There's no wrong way. Yeah. There's no wrong way to make money, you guys.
Sometimes you light a fire and you say it's $10,000 to leave the building.
Well, and like we found out from what was the film where they're like, sometimes it's better for it to be a flop than a success because we can make money off
the producers.
Yeah. Yeah, so you never know. Maybe they planned for it to be a flop. Katchup, I always fuck that up. Welcome. What's up, Eugene? King the Manny says monster drink endorsement went to your spam folder.
Oh
Bruh.
my gosh, if it was, I would leave the stream right now.
Not
and go
gonna
check,
lie,
yeah.
we will shamelessly plug Monster.
Yeah.
Okay. Send the check, Monster, and we got you. Just send a flat of Monster, and we'll do all we can.
We're
Okay.
gonna spend it on Monster anyway.
Yeah.
Let's cut out the middle. Let's cut out the tax, man. You do it as a write-off.
Yep.
You get to feel bad because you're helping us. We get to feel better because I don't have to sit there and be like, I'm spending money on something that's probably not good for me.
Yeah.
It was a gift.
Chunkle says immediately subscribing to Zip Ties. And then C-Sign said, be careful, Andy. They may peg you as racist using the phrase zip tie.
Is there a racial connotation?
I have no idea. Oh my gosh. But no, we're seeing Nadia. You've never seen a Fast and Furious movie? Not one?
Furious?
There's 10. You've seen 0?
I feel like you've probably accidentally seen
I
at
feel
least a little bit.
Yeah, like I feel like you have to have stumbled upon one. Yeah, Nadia said, are you telling me students usually dump their trash during Q1? Nadia and I were talking about this earlier. And yes, The Bride is a horror movie, Nadia. I'm not dealing with you right now because you're being petty. No shame. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Said, is the show short because y'all are AI and have to recharge your batteries? Skynet, perhaps. Enjoy The Bride.
Let's talk about the weird, like the AI rumors.
Yeah, and questions that we get.
People ask, like, why do we bring it up? Because it's happening more. We're getting accused of it more.
And it's not like they're being sarcastic or funny. They're being serious.
Like, dude, there are some absolute legends being hilarious.
Yes.
In playing with the joke. But there are other people who it's like, fucking, I think they are. I think these fuckers. They're like, it's like investigative. It's like,
yeah.
They're like, the frame started stuttering. It could be a bad camera. It could be a lack of resources at that struggling studio. That's struggling. Or this is some Skynet shit, and I fucking knew it.
Yeah, and we're fake.
I love it though.
I think that's funny though that you think if we got to pick what we looked like as AI, that we would choose this. We wouldn't.
That would be a silent.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay, but thank you so much, No Shame. And
play a fun one. You never pick my fun ones.
I always pick the same ones.
Yeah, it's terrible. Thank you, No Shame.
Do a Lord of the Rings one because we want to get into that today.
Okay.
Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Thank you so much. Also, Darstud for the $10 super chat says, oops, Monster sent the check to me and said, here's what's left after my pass-through cut.
See, that's what people don't realize. We're so busy trying to keep this fledgling little studio alive that we have to go through our mods. They handle almost everything. They handle scheduling. They handle bookings. Like, they could be like a bad accountant's taking us for a ride and we would never know. That should be part of the lore. Yes. Thank you so much. Before I hit your video, Darstud, this gem of a comment, Katie is always one update behind in her language model.
That's how you get.
That's priceless.
That's
I
how
love
you get
that.
pronunciated.
Thank you very much. You can also pick which one you like.
Absolutely. We haven't played this one in a while. Thank you so much. This is for you.
You actually might end up being a nice little soldier. You come see me in a few weeks when you got them curls. You pay for the seeds, you get to look at the trees.
Nadia with a blasphemous comment. Drink Ghost. # no monster. What?
I had that I had Ghost, the peach one, when we were on our way out to Texas. That was fucking delicious.
Nothing against Ghost, but this is a monster household.
Mm-hmm.
White monster to be specific. But Ghost is...
Please, my father was the white monster. You can just call me.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's jump into the chat before we go off on a completely different tangent. Let's start with the Lord of the Rings stuff. So there's rumors circulating about who they're trying to get for the Hunt for Gollum, because obviously they're going to have to recast a bunch of people because they have to be younger. So
many weird things about this headline.
Anya Taylor-Joy, of all the movies she's been in, why pick Furiosa? But I guess for the Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, female lead. Questions that need answers. Female lead.
Yeah. First of all,
what
in my head, this was a lot more of like, I don't know why I thought they were going to shoot this guerrilla style, kind of Blair Witchy, like Gollum, like running through the woods, you know, from Aragorn, and I don't know. The idea that there's going to be a female lead, that's.
By the way, Lieutenant Garcia, shout out to him, and thank you so much for posting this in our Discord, because that's how I found it.
Like, I kind of thought that this was going to be a cash grab, and you know, when it being a cash grab, I just assumed they're going to find excuses to wheel out everybody.
Yeah,
because there's rumors that Elijah Wood's going to be in it.
Yeah, they're talking about the reuniting of Elijah Wood and a bunch of the other actors.
So if it's a cash grab, do we really have need or room for new characters?
Okay, so that's the thing. She's not a new character. Because who do you think she's playing?
As a female lead?
Female fucking lead, which makes no sense, by the way.
Try and make her like a young Arwen?
Yes! Oh my God. She's literally Arwen! Which I was like, what?
I literally was just like, what would be the most obnoxious thing? Yeah. There's so many reasons why she doesn't work as Arwen.
At all. But it gets worse, you guys, because we all knew that they were going to be recasting Aragorn. Because obviously they're not going to use Viggo Mortensen, he's too old, and he didn't.
I think they should.
And he didn't want to do the DH thing.
They're going with a younger actress to play Arwen. I think it would be hilarious to bring back Aragorn and give him that like Irishman treatment where they try and digitally de-age him, but it just looks
awful.
Yeah.
Okay, but who do you think they're getting to play the rumors? Let me clarify. Rumors before anyone loses their damn mind. Who's the rumor of the person they're trying to cast for a young Aragorn?
It's not who I think, but objectively, if you wanted the best possible popular modern casting for Aragorn, would be Jacob Elordi.
So I would even be okay with that.
He should be like, people forget Aragorn's massive.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
which C. Stein, it's Arwen. She's gonna be a young Arwen. So definitely not Henry Cavill, but it's not Henry Cavill, by the way. But I couldn't even see Henry Cavill doing it. It's not Timothy, no. And to answer VP, it's supposed to be a 3-part series, I'm pretty sure. The Hunt for Gollum, they're trying to make 3 movies, which is foolish.
This is wild. This was the problem with, the Hobbit, was it was just too many films, and so they kept doing that obnoxious thing. By the way, that was an era of Hollywood where they were doing this obnoxious thing where they took not enough source material and tried to milk it for all it was worth.
Yes.
We barely got through The Hobbit, realizing there wasn't enough to make 3 films. So you got 3 films, but they were sparse. They
were not great.
It was less than. Dude, Harry Potter tried it, and they didn't even get the 4th part of the Magical Beast crap.
Yeah. Now,
Fantastic Beasts. People be like, excuse me, sir. It's fantastic.
So, oh dear, bloated CGI nightmare alert. 100%. So, Jacob Elordi, I would be okay with.
He or somebody. See, the thing is, he's dark haired. He looks kind of terrible. Fuck no,
bro. They're trying to get this dude, Leo Woodall, which, by the way, he looks more like Samwise than
he looks like a young Sean Astin. Got his
homie. He looks
from?
Not a bunch of stuff.
I've seen him.
White Lotus.
No,
he's been in.
I remember him being obnoxious.
Peter Jacks. No, he's in a Netflix show.
Yeah, what's the city's name?
Leo
Woodall.
Woodall. Awful choice. Awful choice. This makes no sense. He looks more like Sam.
I've seen this motherfucker.
Tish said, why make one okay movie when you can make 3 garbage ones?
Maybe it really was just White Lotus I'm remembering him from.
One Day is on Netflix, so you probably have seen the...
I guarantee you I haven't seen fucking One Day.
No, I don't think you've seen it. I'm saying the advertisement for it, you probably saw him. He's the main actor for that.
I looked up on Google, what is Leo Woodall known for? That's the first thing that comes up under his AI search, which tells you something. Leo Woodall is known for being terribly fan cast as
Oh my gosh. Rossi.
He actually looks like he would be a good Hobbit. And
he would be Sam. Like, why are we doing this? Sam,
is
make him meet Sam. If you want to sit here and do this bullshit, then he can be a young Sam. But to make him Aragorn, are you fucking nuts?
So this is so stupid. One, Viggo Mortensen has that kind of timeless look. Bear in mind, Aragorn is 87, I believe, at the point of Fellowship. So he's in his like 80s. Well, if they're doing it by the books, like, see, this is where it gets so fucking so
weird.
Yeah, because in the books, it's like, I want to say like 18 years that it takes Gandalf to go find out if it's actually the ring. It's like 15 or 18 years. And so, but at best, like if we're being incredibly charitable, like you're talking about like a 50, 60-year-old Aragorn. Viggo Mortensen carries himself like a guy who you believe looks like he's still in his physical prime. But if he's like, yeah, I'm almost 90, you're like, yeah, dog, I can feel it because you got that presence. This dude looks like a fuckboy.
Sorry, Molly. I apologize in advance. Molly said, came here for a pick me up, and you guys hit me with this. Going to cry on my brick now.
We can cry together. This is some
awful. Like the worst casting I've ever seen in my life. Also, Rossi, thank you for the $5 super chat. Said I could see Anya Taylor-Joy being Galadriel, well, you know, because she's blonde. But that's what I'm saying. Like her being Arwen makes no sense.
I think we need to stop with the bullshit and understand that not everybody is right for everything. And this is the problem with everybody trying to feel good in Hollywood right now. See, we were talking about this on Bone Bridgers. We didn't get deep into the weeds, but I get this feeling that somewhere in the past decade, Hollywood has shifted into a very, very protectionist clique where, I mean, it's always probably been like that, but maybe now it's just tipped too much into nepotism, too much into them. You know, it's the whole, like, it's a big club and you're not in it thing. And so it's no longer viewed as, you know, there was always like, I'm getting muddled here, but stick with me. It was always like there was art films and there was pretentious art people in Hollywood. And there's always kind of like your generic, everyman, blue collar slop entertainment, right? In the past decade, it feels like there's a pretentiousness even to the slop, where somebody will make the most god-awful fucking film that you've ever seen. And you're like, that's not good. Like, you didn't try. Like, if you did, then I feel bad for you because you didn't try on this. And I don't want to, like, downplay someone's creative expression, but it's just not good. But then there's, like, this whiny, like, oh, do you know how hard it is to make
a
things?
movie? Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but if it's that hard to make the slop, where's the respect for the actual art? And then you kind of look at it, there's so much less great stuff being made. And I think part of it's like the Marvelification of Hollywood, where somewhere along the way, even like educated and like insightful critics, and I don't mean that like in a pretentious way, but people who know a lot about film have to pretend like the newest Marvel thing is this absolute triumph of cinema. And so when you have like Brie Larson Oscar winner in the Marvels, you have to treat it like it's a serious
a big
project.
deal. Yeah.
When we all know it's a cash grab. And so with this, I'm on the fence of maybe this is a good thing. Maybe you cast the worst possible people. That way it's so, like, just so superficially lets you know that this is garbage and it's a cash grab that it means
nothing.
Yeah, it's incapable of tainting the actual Lord of the Rings trilogy. Because I heard someone in the comments for our last video mention that they've still never seen The Rise of Skywalker and they refuse to even turn on the Rings of Power because they can, at 1,000 feet away, just tell it's going to be trash.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's actually probably good. Like, because I don't think there's value there.
No. And yes, Starstud, 100% young Sam. What's up, PB? Welcome. And he said, have him say potato.
Potato.
Bro, that's the thing. I don't get it. And also to General Kenobi's point, yes, it's rumored, but there's usually more validity behind the rumors than.
I don't believe that because Forbes came out and said Aaron Taylor Johnson was going to be.
I think he was actually in talks and then he realized he didn't want to be a part of that. And so he backed out. I don't think it's because it wasn't actually happening.
How conspiratorial you guys want to get? Because I actually agree with his point. I don't think it means shit. I think what they do now
Is that they're
it's about
fishing?
leverage. Yeah, they fish. I think half of it's like a fishing scam, and the other half is to try and like Pete Hornberger. You remember from
Yes.
30 Rock? The
Yes.
Hornberger
Method, yeah.
You name a terrible person,
Terrible choice.
a good, a solid choice, and then another terrible choice. That way, the solid choice looks better by comparison.
Yeah, and you guys are more willing to accept
So let's
it.
see who
Yeah.
they name after these two.
Yeah. He Fox says creatives and companies realizing they can play victim to avoid accountability. What?
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Welcome, by the way.
Do you ever feel like, and this is such a point of contentiousness, and it's a weird one, by the way, that people are very defensive of like corporations, but the corporations kind of are like that movie Mimic, where I think it's like the giant cockroach thing starts emulating the. By the way, holy fuck, I'm off.
You're going off one, but go ahead.
Did you know that alligator or crocodiles in Indonesia will flip over on their back, make it look like they're fucking drowning, to get people to go in there and save them, and then they'll eat them?
Wait, say it again?
He's not even listening to me.
I was reading.
I saw this last night, so I know it's true because you can't make this shit up.
Wait, what did you say?
Crocodiles.
Okay.
Will flip over and flail their little arms in the water in Indonesia to make it look like they're drowning, to lure people in there to come save them, and boom, when you're in the water, they kill you.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. I saw it on TikTok, so it must be.
Moving on. Tish says so.
That's what corporations feel like. It
yes.
feels like they mimic all the things that would elicit empathy from a human being. And it reminds me of a Subway from Community,
Yes.
where they hire an actor to embody Subway. And so it's all just a sponsored ad, but you feel bad for him because of the conditions he has to work under a Subway.
It's all manufactured people. You heard it here first. Yeah. For all you newcomers, welcome. Hit the like button, please, if you haven't already.
Come here today. How would you know about the crazy shit I saw on TikTok yesterday? This is, and I think that this is just as much of the value of real news.
Darsha said hashtag TikTok facts are real.
TikTok facts are real. Because I have no reason. I have no agenda here. And at least with this, you know that Andy's probably not working with the alligator.
With Big Alligator.
With Big Alligator, or worse, Little Crocodile, to try and
and yes, Junkle, Subway was the gator and Britta was the person saving him. What is going on? Tish said, so Arwen's going to lead the search for Gollum. Hollywood doesn't make much sense, but the casting a soft chin nobody to play Aragorn works with this. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. Don't get it. I also don't know how Arwen would be the female lead unless they're using that term very loosely.
Does it just mean that Aragorn's, if you're coloring in Aragorn's past with her, sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
PB said, Andy, I think the term you're looking for is participation trophy.
I think Anya Taylor-Joy has a very narrow, but like a strategic.
She has a
focus.
very specific look that only works.
It's not just the look; it's her acting choices.
True.
So, like, even as elves go, I don't think she comes across elfin. She comes across more Wiccan.
Yeah.
You know.
Planet X87 welcome says, hey, I heard you guys played Last Century Odium playing. Yes we did.
Yeah, we did.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I remember hearing that song and it made me think of Lord of the Rings, and that's why we made that bump.
Yeah. Separate from that, because we're talking about Lord of the Rings, and I saw that this article was made recently, by the way. Collider wrote an article that said 8 reasons it's hard to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy today. And I don't know how far removed from reality you have to be to make an article like this.
I want to point out, one, on the totem pole of where I don't know if I'm allowed to say totem pole, on the pecking order of news and entertainment, Collider's very low to the bottom. But I enjoy it because it's so bad that it gets the click. It is clickbait.
Yeah.
But think about all the people that have built their name because they used to work at Collider.
Yes.
I don't know if it speaks enormously to the quality of them that they left Collider, or poorly that they ever were affiliated. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's kind of like if you escape Scientology, it's like, okay, well, I'm proud of you for escaping, but also the fact that you were in Scientology makes me have to always question your judgment.
Yep.
If there are any Scientologists in the chat, I'm sorry.
We apologize in advance. Because yes, Tish is a great point. 7 are about how white everyone is. What is number 8? Darcia said only because it reminds people of what is released these days. And that's kind of what they go on to say.
Yeah, the most depressing thing about Lord of the Rings is after you've seen Lord of the Rings, you can't go to the theater and just think that they've tried, you know?
Exactly. So yeah, this was posted on the 6th. So let's go through these reasons because it baffled me at what they wrote. So number 1 is the movies are very long and require a lot of time in one sitting. Shocking.
Oh my God. That's how I often feel. Whenever, they say it's like if you have to invest something, it's probably not worth it, If you have to invest your own time and your own money, it's almost surely not worth it. You want me to pay attention?
So basically, too long, didn't read.
That's so funny. That's like, there's a tremendous amount of value, but I'm not willing to
invest it. Yeah. So number 2 is some of the early.
You don't have to sit through it in one day. I saw in there they talk about it takes a whole day, bro. You can pause it. It's not like like they've been out for 20 plus years, people. You can pause it. You can stream it at home. Kenobi says literally TikTok graying was the first reason I told you. Yes. Now I will give them number 2 that some of the early digital effects look dated on modern screens. Sure. Dude, no, like I don't agree with this. So I hate the argument of whether or not they hold up. It's because if you look at all the things I've ever made in cinema, you have this balance between things that were trying to replicate reality, and those things, sure, like you're like this was a bad decision.
Yeah.
So like The Rock, as a Scorpion King, that was fucking stupid.
That was bad.
There were ways they could have done it that would have worked. That was just bad. Most of the stuff in Lord of the Rings has miniatures, so that stuff all holds up. And though rare times that there is CGI, it's solid.
There's one shot that's not great. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you wanted to be nitpicky and try and find one reason.
Of like when people talk about, if you were talking about the CGI dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, do they look as good as today? No, but they're still well within the overall look of the film.
Yes.
I think they did a better job back then matching practical to the digital, whereas now sometimes on an all digital thing, you're like, how does this look like trash?
Yeah. And Ronnie, homie, I'm telling you now, this whole list is an L.
Yeah.
There's not a single thing on here that's valid.
We're not going through this list. I've not been through this list. But the way Kitty pitched it to me, we're not going through this to
validate it. Yeah.
They're all going to be.
We're looking at how absurd people have become in the space of reporting.
So first one was it's not.
It's too long.
It's not accessible to stupid people. So that's and this one is. I've noticed other things that look better than this 20-something-year-old film.
Yeah.
2 solid.
3.
Yeah.
The serious, old-fashioned tone can feel distant to today's audience.
Now, this I agree with.
What?
If you got Eowyn, and when she was talking to Aragorn, she goes, for real, on God.
Oh, my God. What's up, D. Marcel?
Then maybe I could have connected, but I've never connected with that character. And now that Collider was brave enough to say it, I too can say, yeah, I don't understand what she means.
Yeah, it's too. They talk too clearly, too proper.
Let's go all in. I want. Is it safe? Is this a safe space? Can I say that I feel that maybe Lord of the Rings is a little white coded?
Yeah, the white code. Yes, they talk too white in this film. I don't like the fact that there's no slang.
There's no flavor. There's no jazz to the way.
Yeah, Roddy said whoever did this list is not a serious person.
It's actually killing me, but go ahead.
Oh, shit.
Number 3 literally makes this 100%.
Yes.
But by the way, if you fucking listen to Rings of Power, you see the attempt to modernize,
Bro, they said it can feel heavy for viewers.
It's a heavy fucking story.
Oh, fucking hell.
Do you think the thing that's loosely based on his experience of World War II might be World War I might be a little heavy? I don't know.
Yeah. Yes. The fuck? Yes. Number 4, large parts of the story focus on traveling, which slows the pace. Which, mind you, I've heard the same complaints when we talk about Frieren.
We literally just talked about this in the video.
And that people find it boring because they walk a lot. So,
See, this is the thing. Lord of the Rings is never about the action sequences. It's about the underlying philosophy. Like, that's what makes the Lord of the Rings so beautiful, is you're witnessing a very talented writer working through his mind and his thoughts on the world.
Yes. Rob Chuck says, today's audience expect humor to break up the tension. No way a real person thinks this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony says, you're giving me King vibes, Aragorn. I'm finna fall in love with you. Yes. Like, what is going on?
It's like, you just get off explaining what happens when you put on the ring. Is like, what happens is you code switch and you go from being,
Yeah. Graves says, I have a t-shirt that says, try not to let your mind wander. It's much too small to be let out by itself. It used to be amusing. Now it's just true. Yeah. So, okay. We're not even halfway, guys. Halfway to the absurdity. 5 says, the formal style Dalek feel hard to connect with emotionally.
Way, that's the same
point.
Go back up.
Yes. The same point as this.
So 3 and 5 are the fucking same.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Collider's like, we've
so
committed
reaching
to 8 reasons, and I realize we have 7.
So emotionally connect to, I guess, but sure.
That is so wild.
But 6.
Bro. Like, there's so many lines in Lord of the Rings that I think are straight up poetic.
Yeah. Bro, Ronnie, walking boring, need more vroom vroom. So 6 is the clear good versus evil approach leaves little room for moral complexity. Yes.
Because there is none.
Because why would you need moral ambiguity when it should be a clear good versus evil?
Everybody in Mordor deserves to die. Like, that's not a judgment call. That's not a morality call. The rules of the world, like Sauron, as a disciple of Morgoth, his only reason for existing is corruption. Everything that he touches is corrupted. You shouldn't view the orcs, even as animals, you should view them as like black mold. They are invasive, and they are a detriment to the natural order of things. You should feel nothing. You should absolutely feel nothing.
Yep.
By the way, exactly like with Frieren.
Yes.
We should do a whole.
The demon. Yeah.
We should make a second video that gets no views. How Frieren's demons are exactly like the orcs from Lord of the Rings.
Pretty much.
Like, I don't care if they breathe. They deserve. They're not here. You should not empathize with them. 7
says years of cultural exposure, overexposure, have reduced the impact of big moments. False, because people watch these films on repeat, and it doesn't change the fact that it's a beautifully made film.
In this writer's room, somebody said, what do you think about Lord of the Rings? You want to watch this? Like, no, I've seen it before. And that tells you, like, the emotional depth of somebody.
And yeah, Rochuk, we literally just did a poll talking about this. Yes, we did.
This is actually a hilarious list.
And last but not least, knowing every story beat removes the sense of discovery. These are the same point, by the way.
Yeah.
Same point. So they really had 6.
So the funny thing is, that last point, I could literally rage for probably an hour on just this point. I won't. Don't worry.
I won't.
Yeah.
Wrong.
This speaks to the brain rot in Hollywood and the people that surround Hollywood. Collider is absolutely a mouthpiece for the dumbest contingent in Hollywood. And that's why I think you see so many of the opinions that have come out of Collider are, like, at best, if you're being nice, they're midwits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Many don't even live up to that. If you need a plot twist, if you need to be surprised to enjoy something, it means you never grew out of being like a little kid and needing to unwrap the present. Like, it's at a certain point, the substance of the thing should matter more than the simple shock of finding it. And this is going to be mind-blowing to, like, the people at Collider. Do you know that many people will reread their favorite books over and over?
Literally the point that Katchup just made. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can't enjoy something you know the end of. Don't mind me rereading for fun and depth then. Yeah.
Because, and this is the exact problem with Hollywood and the people that we let it's like everybody deserves to have their opinion because everybody can be wrong together, right? But
you can be wrong, but you have your opinion.
People like Collider, Screen Rant, many
Variety.
people on YouTube, and I'm not trying to be mean, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of very, very dumb people that think that their emotional scope speaks, that it covers everybody's emotional scope. And you realize that it's actually very small. And so you get a lot of midwit takes where people are talking about, like, oh, well, I saw that coming. Or one of my favorite, and one of the criticisms that it's not inherently wrong, but usually pisses me off is you could have shaved a couple minutes off the run.
Yeah.
Like it's a useless take, and it's because you shouldn't be watching anything. You shouldn't be reading things. You shouldn't consume art to get to the point, to get to the destination. Like at best, that would be closer to like a fable, you know,
Yeah.
like something that's there to educate. But realistically, especially with things like Lord of the Rings, you're there to experience the journey.
It's literally an experience of the journey, and to watch people evolve and change through the interactions they have and the experiences they have with other people.
Yeah, so it's like if you watch it, how did you feel when you watched it? Are you not ever so you're saying that you didn't connect with something that transcends novelty? And I think that that's the problem. It's why we hear so many reviews of god awful movies, but because it's new, people's just recency bias, and just because they like the new thing, it makes them believe it was better than it was.
Yeah, somehow revolutionary.
I'd rather watch The Lord of the Rings forever than watch ever again some of the films we saw last year.
Yeah.
Because there's just nothing there.
Yeah, Tish, great point. The funny thing is there is plenty of moral complexity, just not a bunch of false equivalencies and BS strawman arguments.
That's a great point.
Because even the Boromir, like there's definitely like moral complexity. It's just not about whether or not the truly evil people are fucking evil.
So Boromir, Denethor, like, see, that's you guys have actually nailed it. If there is complex discussion of what it means to be moral, there's not moral ambiguity. There's no conversation about, well, maybe Sauron deserves to,
maybe he's actually the good guy,
maybe he's the good, or maybe we're worse than we think. No, there's a clear moral bearing, in certain characters like Aragorn just live up to it. Other characters fall short, but the conversation never deviates from what is the best course of action. So
100%. Someone said, Ronnie said, can you imagine if they ever remake these films? No, I can't, because awful.
Rob Chuck says, we just got Andy stuck on a beach answer. Is that a Death Stranding reference? I've been revisiting Death Stranding, and tell me what the reference is, because I can't. Now I'm like jumping through loops trying to understand that.
Says this live stream was reassuring because I low-key thought we were getting gaslighted that you weren't AI.
Oh, really? That's the thing.
It's hilarious.
Doubt the video. By the way, you know what the funniest comment I saw was? Somebody says, like, what's going on here? Like, why are you guys acting like you're just sitting together when this is like clearly scripted? It's like, yeah, well, we wrote the script together. Katie reads the parts that she wrote. I read the parts that I wrote, and we talk with the viewer, you, about the things we think. We don't talk to each other about it because that kind of seems like
that'd be fucking weird.
Imagine if we did that. So Katie, I was like, that would be weird, right? Like
we do that on here.
But these people, like this dude, who's just one dude, legitimately, and look, if we ever run into that guy who comes and visit live stream, all are welcome. But it was a weird take. It's like, do you know how video essays work?
Separate note before we move on. We are going to MegaCon. So, and next Monday is our 100th episode.
We're going to MegaCon, but because of some logistical issues, we will only be able to communicate via webcam, because we're definitely not AI. So
rude.
What?
Rude. Correction, Katie tries to read the part she wrote.
Katie's actually, the funny thing is, Katie is much better at recording the
my script.
The script.
Yeah.
Than I am.
But
she's terrible at this improv thing we do. It's not good, right?
We're going to MegaCon. We're having our 100th episode of Catch a Monday next Monday. So we're going to do a vote because I'm trying to decide what to dress up as for MegaCon. And you guys can give us your ideas. Tell us what you think. Because we've gone back and forth.
Yeah. L Turner says, I thought this was all improv. That's a great, I know you didn't ask, but I'm going to say anyways.
This is improv.
So this is all improv. And for anybody who doesn't understand, I guess, the mechanics of the show, the things that we talk with you guys in the chat almost always lead to the things that we make videos about. So you guys kind of are our sounding board. if you want to be charitable, like you guys are, if you want to be uncharitable to us, we rip off the ideas that the chat gives us, and we turn them into videos.
And then flesh it out.
Yeah.
What's up, Tony? He says YouTube isn't letting my message go through again. I don't know what's going on, bro. But
Dude,
welcome.
This past week of YouTube's been terrible, so I totally get it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You're too far away from your mic.
Can you hear me now? It might also be what we're having problems with StreamYard.
Turn your thing probably up a tad.
But let's see if it sounds better before I start blasting the mic.
Yeah, you guys let us know if it's better now or if Andy needs to turn it up. I will write it down. Turner, where is the pen?
Somewhere.
Ta-da. Because we'll do a vote next Monday.
So I must have gone too far away. But still not, I can turn it up a smidge. All right, just turned it up.
So all options are welcome. You can do any anime, whatever. Dragon Master Zero, thank you so much for the $4 super sticker, which is a pair with the Cop Cup. Greatly appreciated.
Something
new and fun that we haven't played in a while.
Something we haven't played in a freaking while. Should we stick with the Lord of the Rings stuff?
Gods of War. And I've been hustling all day, this away, that away, through canals and alleyways, just to say, money trees is the perfect place for shade, and that's just how I feel. Nah, $8 might just get main, that's just how I feel. Nah.
Thank you. I played the wrong one to start.
Yes, pen and paper, AI is getting smarter.
Realistically, like if we were AI, we'd be so fucked as a society. Like, because and I've seen it already. Like a lot of AI, especially like voice agents for taking like orders, will put in mistakes to try and make it feel more human. With how much we fuck up, dude. If AI was actively like, it would be beyond even the AI smarter. You'd be like, the AI is
an idiot.
Clearly actively deceiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to have all the abilities to undo the idea of like AI being too polished or whatever. It's like, nah, dude, they're just straight up. And you're like, why is the AI doing this? You know?
Rossi, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He said, if you had to pick only to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy or the OG Star Wars trilogy for the rest of your life, which would you pick?
Oh god, that's hard.
I'd pick Lord of the Rings, the extended edition.
I think I'd pick. Fuck, I don't know. They're like my two favorite things. I don't know. Damn.
Andy needs to figure it out,
dude. I don't know.
We're gonna play a bump for you, Rossi, while Andy decides. But I can easily say it would be Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Play this one. Because this threw me for a loop, my guy.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You dog? Wait, Ricky. Ricky, come here. Ricky, take a deep breath. Ricky.
I probably would have to do Lord of the Rings. Just because there's so much more there.
Yeah, Rossi, I think
it's not even about.
Yeah. Rossi said, I think objectively Lord of the Rings is better. And Rossi's like, huge
It's not even just about better. It's just, oh my gosh.
So CD Sign said K needs to be, and now I'm not going to be able to say this correctly. How do you, Malvola from Dispatch? And Andy can dress as Phenomenon.
We got to play Dispatch.
We do.
Yeah.
Tish said you could go as the bride, but people would be actually happy to see you kind of ruining the costume. I would not want to do the bride.
I personally still prefer. Yeah, I don't even think it's like a difference in appreciation. Because I love them both. I love Star Wars. I kind of think, as far as a trilogy, that maybe the Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy ever made. There's no weak film. And as much as I love Star Wars, I have favorites between the three. Like if you were to say what's your favorite Lord of the Rings, they're like I just view them as one perfect film that's 9 hours long.
Yeah. BP said I lean towards Star Wars. So I think it's clearly obviously a preference, but yeah.
Andy, you can dress as Cameron Poe. Who the fuck is
Cameron Poe? Who is Cameron Poe? In the process of Andy looking that up, I quickly wanted to talk about this because I think it's funny. But hold on.
Oh shit! From
Andy, you should definitely do Cameron Poe.
So Cameron Poe chat is your guy.
Oh,
can you guys
it's
see?
Nick Cage.
It's Nick Cage from Con Air. Damn.
That's awesome.
I don't think I've ever known his fucking
Thornhill
name.
said Nick Cage. Neither have I.
I just think I've always called him Nick Cage.
Rob Check says, "Who is Cameron Poe made by?"
Did you guys ever see How to Lose Friends and Alienate People?
Oh.
And Simon Pegg's asking what's the best film ever made, and people are giving like actual cinephile and history. He goes, wrong. It's Con Air, because you've got Nick Cage at his peak. You've got Malkovich for the artsy crowd. Because you've got Cusack for the gays. Yeah,
You've got to do the accent as well.
bro. It's so funny because his accent in that's terrible. He's
Awful.
like, what does he say? He goes, "I'm going to see my daughter.
My
on
girls.
My girl." I can't do it.
I
I have to go
can't.
listen to it. It's because it's one
Andy
of those.
probably could get it. 'Cause he's very good at
dude,
accents.
because and also it's not a very good accent. I don't think anybody.
Andy's like, I don't think I'm really gonna have to stretch to try and get that.
I don't think anybody was from like, I don't know, name a place, Little Rock, Arkansas, and says, "Fuck, that's me, dog."
That's my accent. Okay, this is gonna be quick because I don't really want to get into this, but like fully, because it's obviously a shameless rumor, but I just thought this was so funny because everyone's hating on Timothy Chalamet right now because of the stuff he said about not the Oscars, but he said about opera and ballet. They're saying he's being eyed for the role of Gambit. I specifically remember him saying that he got advice from Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, no superhero shit.
Yeah, that he would never do any superhero stuff, and if he did, it would be something attached to Nolan. So I'm like, and of all the people to play, why would he be Gambit? That makes no sense.
I mean, if we're being honest, I think people like Channing Tatum, but I mean, he's not who I would have cast as Gambit to begin with, you know?
No. But that's stupid. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get into this trailer because I didn't even know this movie was coming out, that it was being released or filmed or in the works.
Bro, Rossi says, Jason Vanderbeek's Southern accent in Varsity Blues was have you seen Varsity Blues?
No.
It's actually quite a good film, but it's horrendous. Paul Walker's in it, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, so this is before the accident, obviously.
Austin Butler would be a better Gambit.
But he says, "I don't want your life." It's so fucking bad.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But did anyone else know that Henry Cavill had a movie coming out?
I did not.
And it's called In the Gray with Jake Gyllenhaal. And yeah. That's
This
not a big
picture legitimately, I think, tells you what's the problem with Henry Cavill in Hollywood. He looks like he's from another decade.
Yeah.
You know, he just looks.
My guy just looks
just too
otherworldly.
handsome. But he also, it's a very masculine handsome.
Yeah, In the Gray.
Yeah.
Awful title.
Let's play this trailer. I have no idea what the fuck this is about.
Neither do I. I stopped myself from watching because I was like, let's watch it together.
3, 2, 1.
Call Gary into my office. There is a situation here.
I assure you you'd like to listen. The alternative is very expensive.
Gary! Get them out of my office now.
Gary, a moment. There are two versions of how this narrative plays out.
Exhibit A.
Gary waits patiently and quietly by the door.
Exhibit B.
Gary steps forward and you spend the next 6 hours sponging him off the walls. I know which version Gary would prefer. Gary.
Manny Salazar. He's not
So-
really the guy you loan $1 billion and expect to see it back.
I mean, you can't talk while with the trailer plays. They can't hear you.
Okay.
But
Go
is
ahead.
there something you want to say?
No, go ahead.
All right.
Couldn't cover it. You know I can. And this job, when mistakes are made, you need insurance. Kids, don't say a word. Follow me. Bronco and Sid will now solve it their way.
Love the shirt.
It's silk.
Of course it is.
I just told you. It's silk.
This is Salazar's island. The police are on payroll, and he has a reasonably experienced private army. Tick every box.
Tick every tuck,
Lube every wheel.
lick every stamp.
3, 2, 1.
Range 300. Weight 275. Make your mind up. 250. Ram it, Janet.
They work between the moral and the immoral, the black and the white. They operate in the gray.
Show me what you got. I foresee a problem. I am aware that there is a 300-foot deep untraversable ravine, but if you give yourself enough runway, build up some speed, and flap your arms like so,
it should take the bump out of the landing.
Okay, so let's be.
Single, yeah.
Y'all probably aren't gonna like to take. I'm gonna tell you now. It looks a little bit gimmicky.
Those cheap ass shit.
Yeah.
It feels like it was made by Amazon with the people hanging around Amazon. And I like all the actors. I really like Jake Gyllenhaal. I obviously like Henry Cavill. Stack, like we were talking about, looks like a stacked cast. By the way, I feel like I've seen this film. I feel like they've never stopped making this film. This feels like, was it Red One? Not Red One. Red One. Anytime you've had two popular people together solving a situation,
yeah. If it's longer than 90 minutes, it's too long. It's definitely a formula film. We've seen this multiple times. The only interesting part is the fact that it's Jake Gyllenhaal and Henry Cavill.
And I think that that's a great distinction. We need to look. It's probably not going to be great, but it's
Ungentlemanly Warfare did not do well in theaters. I don't think this is magically going to do phenomenal. Especially because they're not doing anything special. It's just the actors are special.
It's one of those things that you look at it and you're like, it would in a different time when we had B films, it would be a B film.
Yes.
But now even B films are really, really expensive. And it just.
Now, if they were smart and filmed this at the same time and they filmed Ungentlemanly Warfare, because a lot of the same actors are in this film, then great.
The chick is from Ungentlemanly Warfare. It feels like they're trying to just make her a thing, which is weird. She's not an especially good actress. But
she's
again,
hot.
Yeah. It's just, But it is Guy Ritchie. And, you know, it's going to be like a popcorn flick. The thing is, I don't think popcorn flicks get people to go to theaters anymore. I think that this is another, like comedy, is another genre that is just
dying.
It's just streaming, dude.
Yeah.
It just feels like a streaming thing.
And that's the thing. See, it's a typical Guy Ritchie film. Yes. Fun, quick wit, in action. The definition of a popcorn film, we need fun films like this. So what if it's formulaic? I didn't say it was bad if it was formulaic. I'm pointing out it is formulaic, though. It's a generic film.
It's just one of those films that, like, you put on and it's supposed to be fun. But like VP said, it's like a 90-minute thing. Like, if they're trying to do like a whole 2-hour runtime, you're like, oh, you're probably,
you push past what's acceptable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's March. Yeah. Summer movie is a swing. How does Guy Ritchie's box office usually perform? Not great. A lot of his stuff is streaming.
See, Guy Ritchie is one of those. Like, I remember Guy Ritchie from when his stuff was kind of like his earlier stuff where it was very like Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, like those type of things. And I don't think they ever had to do great. But then I remember like when they started trying to push him into being like a more mainstream director, with like his King Arthur film, where you're like, his style is so overwhelming. If it's not 100% his thing, it kind of doesn't work. And I'm not sure Guy Ritchie's style works when you remove it from like the British kind of underbelly stuff.
I don't know. I think currently the box office isn't going to be too hot this year. There's going to be a lot of excuses. I just don't think it's going to go very well. So the fact that it comes out this year in theaters,
Yeah.
Not promising. And the narrative, which is going to be super annoying, is that it's Henry Cavill's fault.
CSI does bring up Sherlock Holmes is the same way, and it did well. I think Sherlock Holmes works, one, because it's Sherlock Holmes, and two, because...
That's also Robert Downey Jr.
But also, hearing the way... Look, it's... I think Guy Ritchie's greatest strength, but also his greatest limiting factor, is his dialogue. It works so well when it's working well. It's like Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin's dialogue can be so awesome, but it can also completely dominate where you're like, oh, this is... Same with Tarantino, by the way. If Tarantino decided he was going to take a stab at like romantic comedy, you'd be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what are you doing? Everybody's like neurotically talking about nonstop pop culture. You'd be like, oh, everybody seems like a little bit like they're on the spectrum, you know?
Marshall J, thank you for the $5 super chat. He says the Bride could be something special. Still love old classic, but heard they really missed the mark on this one. So we will let you all know because we're going to see it in the next like hour. Yeah. Because we gotta take a look at this Warlock. There's been too many things said about this film for us not to see it.
The funniest thing is, you know, sometimes like in today's political, cultural, movie landscape, you can tell what films are going to get picked apart based on what political axe there is to grind. This is one of the few films that my most conservative friends that have seen it hated it, and my most liberal friends who've seen it hated it. What if it's what if it's just in the middle? Because there's
it won't be.
No,
it won't be. Especially because, okay, we're about to go over the comments.
But isn't that crazy? Like a lot of times and look, there are a lot of very, very bad films I think are propped up because Hollywood feels there's like some political points to score.
And some people feel like they got to go see it because there's political points to be scored.
And what blows me away is none of my friends that I know are a little susceptible to trying to perhaps be on the right side of history and fall in line. Like friends I know that have tried to argue with me that Starfleet Academy isn't that bad. Even they're like, this ain't it, dog.
This ain't it, dog. But yeah, Marshall J, this is for you. Thank you.
They figure me a dead motherfucker, but I'm just a motherfucker that wanna be past. No limit with the lead in his head, turning me into his red. Bitches is me as a fucking best friend. I'll be the silhouette if the sun says, smoke a cigarette while I got press. My depression stepping to the pilot, progressing lies, bitch violent. I'm trying to get the highest I can get before all the dozen that. My ribs are nothing but an empty gauge, black coal in my chest, big bang. I'm played on the tip of a wave. In my head I feel like I'm like a from a $100 grave. Because when I am dead I will be nothing, we composing in the grave. I'm mad but I don't matter, I can feel my skull shatter from the dough cheddar, brain splattered on the wall, gray stains.
Thank you so much. Because yes, so this was the post I saw recently, which I thought was hilarious. The Bride is reportedly being met with mass audience walkouts during screenings. So it's like you have to see this movie because you're like, how bad could it be that there's mass audience walkouts? Homie, I have never, and I mean never, walked out of a film. I've seen films that I didn't think were good, but at the end of the day, you spent your money to go here, and it's still an experience. Who walks out of a film?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's ever been a film. I mean, most of the time, I don't even stop watching a film that I put on streaming. Like for me to walk out, because I would feel negligent. Because I mean, there's so many films that I have not enjoyed, but by the end of them, I'm like, okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's the thing. I don't know if I've ever heard of a film having mass walkouts ever. I've never heard of people walking out of, like, I've heard like there's a, like, I think World of Warcraft film. I know someone who walked out because they're like, nah, it's not for me, dog.
World of Warcraft, someone didn't go see. Yeah. That's so funny. When I saw World of Warcraft, I was violently sick and I actually projectile vomited because I had the flu.
But yes, Darshad,
that's the
it's
only
so
film I haven't finished. And then I went and watched.
We gotta see it. Yeah. And yeah, VP says I have a 50% rule. If I make it halfway through, I'll stick it out. So yeah, it's weird, you guys. But then I thought it was also hilarious. Variety wrote an article saying 5 reasons the bride was dead on arrival at the box office. I would like to point out, Variety rarely writes these types of articles. And so...
But this... Let's go through the list. I don't want to jump to any conclusions.
So for them to write this, I feel like it's things have gone too far. So their first reason, in which, mind you, you can tell they don't write these types of articles. They don't even number them. The first reason...
Don't they know that the brain rot generation likes to have it be a listicle?
Yeah, literally.
By the way,
a listicle, it has to have
tells you
numbers.
how at least Collider and Screen Rant really know who they're writing
Their
for.
target audience.
Because not only do they have it a list, they also a lot of times have the 3 to 5 summation list at the very top for people who want to invest nothing more than the headline. They're like, a lot of people are going to read the headline to confirm their bias. We need to maybe sneak in 1 or 2 points that they catch at a glance.
Yeah. So number 1 is inauspicious release date. So it was originally supposed to be released October 3rd.
Terrible excuse, by the way.
Yeah.
This is something that the mainstream, I don't know what you want to call it, like
it's an excuse, by the way.
The media that chooses to protect Hollywood often throws out, and it tells you that this is probably not going to be a very honest take on why it failed.
Yeah. So it's an excuse to say because of the part of the year that it came out, that less people are willing to go see it. And they said because there's the Monster Mash song and all this, that it would have done better in October. Sure. Yeah.
By the way, if your argument is we built a film that was going to cash in on Halloween, like putting the Monster Mash in it,
yep,
does that not speak to the deep ineptitude of Hollywood that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I made a film that was based on, like, bro, we got fireworks in this thing because it is meant to be viewed in and around the 4th of July. It's called the 4th of July.
It can't be viewed
the appeal
outside
is I want people to fucking feel something. Like when in the theater, I want people standing up and saluting this fucking film. It's gonna be so patriotic. But no roads are perfect, and there were delays, so we're releasing it in December.
And that's what ruined it.
You'd be like, that's fucking
stupid.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah. So
if that was the case, you'd be like, wait till next next
year.
July.
Yeah. So the second one, too much Frankenstein, too little time, which seems like a cop-out. So they said one reason the Bride was pushed to 2026 was to distance itself from Guillermo del Toro's take on Frankenstein, which, yes, but...
This is another fake Hollywood talking point. They cannot make up their mind whether or not Netflix is this behemoth that's going to eat their lunch and take over theaters, or it's an inconsequential streaming platform that cares nothing for theaters. And you often see this where both sides of the argument is like, oh my god, we can't do anything because Netflix is going to release K-pop Demon Hunters in theaters and that's going to steal the box. But also, can you believe those fuckers will not it's
fuck them, they mean
won't
nothing.
Release things in theaters.
So basically they're saying because there's multiple options for Frankenstein films, which I guess
Guillermo del Toro was in 1,000 theaters or something minuscule for 2 weekends.
Yeah, that's the thing. Tony, I'll agree. Yeah, there's a little bit of an oversaturation, but
they're
but also very divergent.
But not specifically with Frankenstein. I would say, if anything, there's an oversaturation in these, and I haven't seen the film yet, so I could be incorrect. But thirst trappy monster films.
Yeah. So budget gone wild. Okay. Yeah. Yes, that actually is a problem because they spent $80 to $100 million on this film for what fucking reason?
Yeah.
And then like $60 million for marketing. So yeah, budget gone wild, sure. That's also not why it's doing bad though.
And Artur driven swings. Is Maggie Gyllenhaal on Artur? I don't think she has the legacy.
Well, dude, not even fucking that. When you see this interview that she had, it's gonna make you a little bit more upset.
By the way, go up. You can hear the way they try and manufacture like proximity hype.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it says in the case of Sinners, it paid off. Bro, I don't think that was the appeal of Sinners, dude. Nowhere when Sinners was coming out, dude, do you remember? There was no faith in Sinners.
No.
There was none of
they talk shit about it.
Yeah.
For the fact that maybe he had put his money in the wrong place because the director had put his own money into the film.
It was almost like I mean, I know they didn't, but there's almost from like the film community, I picked up on a little bit of like
it was like
an extension of
Metalopolis.
Metro.
Metalopolis.
No, not even close.
I don't know. Fuck
Metropolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, between that and Kevin Costner's films, like last year there was a
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis.
There we go.
Megalopolis is the one from like.
Yeah, Megalopolis. Yes.
And then Horizon by
Kevin Costner.
Like
yes.
there was a glee when
They
directors kind of forgot their place and dared to invest their own money. It was almost like, oh, don't you know that if you're not one of the money men, you don't get to make the decisions on what gets made?
How fucking dare you? Yeah. So no, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like they're clearly trying to associate her with other popular, well-made films. Now, I'm not saying that's not a well-made film because we haven't watched it yet. But and then press tour that forgot to sell the movie. Now, whose fucking fault is that though? Because if Maggie Gyllenhaal continuously talked about the film's tragic test screenings, maybe you're the problem. Maybe you should talk about how amazing your film is and not about the test screenings that fucking sucked. Maybe.
Why are you getting so angry?
I'm not getting angry. I'm pointing out a point. Like,
you're frightening me. You sound angry.
Oh my goodness. All right, and then audience rejection.
There you go. Like that could have been 1 through 5. Could have been audience. Give us the reasons the audience rejected it. We're about to go see this thing in like 30 minutes.
So this might be part of the reason the audience rejected it.
You did.
Oh man.
Katie, you
getting ahead of myself.
Jagoon.
Getting ahead of myself. There you go.
I was thinking about this moment because on the one hand, we've had all these interesting, films come out just this year. Chloe Zhao with Hamnet, Lynn Ramsey with Die My Love, Kristen Stewart with The Chronology of Water. But on the other hand, there's only 8% of films that were made by women.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a 7-year low.
Which I would like to point out, she's making it seem like somehow the industry is boxing these women out, even though it's a 7-year low. So clearly there's been more films made by women in the past, just yet now currently women decided they didn't want to make as many films.
By the way, Rossi had an hilarious Big Daddy reference. He goes, did Katie say hippopotamus? And he always gets the easy ones. Have you seen that?
Yes.
But he's like, yes.
He
always gets the easy ones.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think that says?
I'm thinking about whether to say this.
Say it.
I think that
women setting up women for failure. That's what that is.
No, yeah, because the media is not your friend, you guys.
This woman knows exactly what she's doing. And this is the problem with the Hollywood media circus. They're no longer selling art. They're no longer selling connection with the audience. It's this I dare you attitude. I dare you to get out here and talk about how men are ruining Hollywood. I dare, like, whatever the thing that whatever act she has to grind, that she's not brave enough to make art of her own or say on her own, she will bait this woman.
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
And don't get me wrong, I'm sure Maggie Gyllenhaal probably believes it too. But
she's also setting her up
for failure,
to dunk on the audience to give this reason.
Yeah.
And it's not well thought out.
Yeah.
it's fine. Like when we make little movies, cute, or like go make your little movie. Starts to get dangerous when women have their hands on a lot of money.
Pause. What a show! I want to put this on screen.
I
want to point out, and actually, this is one of the mini scripts we have cooking. Probably not for a long script because I think it'll become very old hat very fast. Dude, have you noticed that the things that are said in Hollywood sound exactly like the fucking things a chauvinist would say? Like the films that women directors are making right now are exactly like the exploitation films that would have been made by like a Harvey Weinstein type, where he's like, for instance, if like, just want to clear your mind of the film I'm talking about. But imagine you've got Harvey Weinstein. I don't know what Harvey Weinstein sounds like, but his sound is not pleasant. He's like, hey, I want to make a film. And I've been looking at this Emma Stone and I find her very attractive. I think she'd be perfect for this Frankenstein flick I've got going.
Yep.
And I thought she could be fucking through like 90% of it. I think that if she was naked and banging dudes and getting passed around a whorehouse, does that sound like a boss? I'm trying to go for Boston. I don't know if I have a
if she was getting passed around this whorehouse, I think that would make a very interesting Frankenstein film with Emma Stone. And that film is Poor Things. If that creep said that, you'd be like, whoa, you fucking perv. Why? But if it's a woman, it's like, oh, you know, or if you're European, it's very, very powerful. It's subversive.
Yes, powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I wish Darren Aronofsky had the courage to make Requiem for a Dream now, because I would love to see the media circus trying to explain how going ass to ass was actually profoundly brave. See,
it was revolutionary.
What I see is not two heroin addicts doing whatever they can to get the next fix. I see women unashamed and using their sexuality in order to own the means of production. It's a little bit of socialist if you think about it. I see two independent creators creating things only for their fans and getting compensated fairly for it. Nothing to be ashamed of there. And so, yeah, like you can almost take the words out of the most gross, misogynistic, chauvinist pig you've ever seen. But if you have a female director make it, the Academy's like, God, that's so fucking brave.
Yeah, but not even that. The fact that she said, "Oh, that's a cute little film," and then if you have a lot of money and a large budget, then it's dangerous.
Exactly. Like if a male said, "I think when you give women a lot of money, it's dangerous," you'd be like, "What up, dude? You're talking about cutting up their credit cards because it can't be trusted with the spending." But when it's a woman, it's like it is dangerous, and we like it. We like that it feels dangerous, don't we?
But not even that. I think it's hilarious because the director who did Eternals was a woman, and she said she was given too much money, and that if there had been an actual financial restriction, she probably would have made a better film.
And obviously, it has nothing to do with the gender in the film. It has to do whether or not the budget makes sense for the optimal result for the film. Yeah. This film was never going to make $500 million, so
she never should have
given
$80
a budget that would have necessitated that.
Yeah. But let's finish this and then we can discuss it.
You just removed it from the thing.
Oh, man. There you go.
You know what you're saying? You're saying it's a tiny percentage, but look at how many of those movies were movies that made an impact. Like if you've had
an impact, not money.
An impact.
Look at how many of those made an impact. Bro, if we want to go to the biggest impacts through history, most of them are bad. And I'm not even going to bring up the one that I want to bring up because that was two impacts that ruined it. Yeah. So I find it funny that they don't talk about it's like they didn't make money. It's impact. So you give me a lot of money and in exchange, I give you impact. Bro, when we were funding, certain militant groups throughout the world, we gave lots of money and it made a big impact. We don't look on that and say that was a good decision. We say we need less of that.
Yeah.
Your mouth shut for so long, almost like a geyser, like having your hand on something. Well, when it bursts, it's going to come out really powerfully and with a lot of energy. And I wonder if what's happening culturally is going to...
Literally every line. When you talk to women, it's just kind of like a geyser that blows a lot of hot air and a lot of yeah.
These are awful analogies.
Again, if you're a dude, this is being passed around like this guy's a problem. Somebody get this man out of Hollywood.
Get this man out of here.
Okay, I will say one thing about this. It's gonna bring like an unstoppable response, maybe especially from women. I will say, and I don't know if I've said this out loud before. Again, maybe I'll get in trouble, but I actually think that when I really became a director was actually, I think, the first time that the morning that Trump was first elected. I think I was like, I have a lot more to say than I've been saying.
You heard it here first, folks.
Did she make the film? Her first film, was that from before? So I don't know. I don't know enough about Maggie Gyllenhaal.
No idea.
So when she first became a director, so either she's saying, best interpretation of that is she wasn't a director. She had never directed until, pull up her filmography real quick. let's see if she ever directed before 2016. Because if the answer is yes, what that means is she was just pumping out trash before then. So absolute nepotism stuff, right? Like, because I'm pretty sure the Gyllenhaal's parents were already famous. I'm pretty sure that's why they got into Hollywood. And I think also, I mean, obviously she's Jake's sister.
So no, she wasn't a director at all.
So when was her first directorial debut?
2021, The Lost Daughter.
Oh, so it took. Well, that's fucking hilarious too. So she became a director the day Trump was elected in 2016, and it took 5 years to make a film.
From what I'm seeing.
Yeah. I don't actually care. This is kind of.
I don't actually care. No, it's just, once again, you guys, what?
An actual checklist of things that you know is going to play well in your circle.
Tech Rat said, can you imagine how many lives this will be saving? That's actually the go-to statement when a film doesn't make money. They're like,
yeah,
but it saves lives, guys.
I think because of all the lives these are saving, we should remove all the defibrillators and things and just put, like all the films that have saved lives in their place.
And
next time someone's choking, just throw on
the film. Yeah. It'll save lives, guys. Duh.
Yeah.
And VP, what is she even talking about? No one knows. That's the thing.
Because the funniest thing is the whole I don't know if I said this out loud. I'm probably getting in trouble for this. Should I say it?
I'm also going to get in trouble for
you're not
this.
getting in trouble at all. Like in Hollywood, that's like the most, that is the least controversial opinion. By the way, people always talk about like in Hollywood, like with the whole like criticize billionaires, talk about how bad, like these are not controversial opinions. These are like the low hanging, like I don't even say they're low hanging fruit. I think they send that shit to you in a fruit basket and they say, please just take a bite of it. So yeah, like the least likelihood of backlash, especially now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And agreed, Ronnie. Wonder Woman 84 seemed to have pretty much killed Patty Jenkins' career.
Yeah.
It's an awful film. And so that's the other thing. They want to talk about how few films women are making, but not talk about like the number of films that were directed by women that didn't do well, that weren't good films.
Well, and again, it's nothing to do with the gender of the creator. Like I've heard just as many male directors spew absolute. It's just
garbage.
The state of of Hollywood right now, that there's no comment on why they made the film, what they're excited for. There's no belief. And I think that's what people forget as well. Like, I think it's why, like, whether or not you like Sinners, and I know a lot of people are disappointed because they thought it was going to be a horror film and it wasn't. Whether or not you like Sinners, I don't think people doubted that Ryan Coogler wanted to make the film that he made, right?
No, he reinvested in his own vision.
Even like in the way he talked.
Yeah, he wasn't
sitting
invested.
there. He was like, bro, I really wanted to make this film. It's not that complicated. When you hear him talk with and he always works, I'm forgetting the name of it. It's like this famous, I think he's like Swedish or Norwegian composer. They always work together. It just seems like they just want to make the films. They want to make the soundtracks. There's never this other thing. And I often think that the reason Hollywood brings it up is not because it actually guided their decisions. It's they know it's going to fucking bomb. Well, and by saying this, they can say, oh, I spoke truth to power and it meant that my film didn't do that well. But that's part of the impact we were talking about.
Which is also why there's an article from a interview with her that misogynists are the ones who already don't like The Bride.
It sounds like a misogynist runs her PR team. And so she needs to go ask that specific misogynist why he didn't go see the film.
And Darcy,
like when you were writing the things that we all thought was such good ideas about how women can't be trusted with the money, and how when we talk, it's just like an explosion of a geyser,
and that it becomes a dangerous thing,
and how dangerous. Like, why didn't you also go see the film? And then he would say, because I'm a misogynist. Why would I go see a woman-led film?
But no, Darcy said, and that's the problem. Yes. How does that circle back to when Trump got elected that made you want to become a director because you had things to say? Because also, can't wait to see this film and how somehow that relates to things she had to say that were so important because of Trump.
I think a lot of people in Hollywood secretly wish they were documentarians, but they're not. To be a documentarian is hard. I think that to make a compelling narrative that's purely based on informative. I mean, it's hard to be Ken Burns, right? It's hard to have like slow panning like pictures of the Civil War and have it be interesting. And I think instead, a lot of them will be like, I wish I had the the respect of like a documentarian, but I can't do that. And so what I'll do is I'll take whatever script is given to me and I'll talk about it as though it's this other thing. And it's just not.
As though it's a documentary.
Like, say what you will about, like, what's his name, Michael Moore. At least he did make, like, whether or not you believe the stuff in them, most people don't. Like, he made shit, like, you know, that was I mean, even Al Gore made the.
Believe the shit in them. Yes.
Like, even like Al Gore did the whole like, oh, the ice caps are gonna melt, and here we
Global
are.
warming.
The ice caps still be here and shit, but at least they didn't hide behind today
the pretentious bullshit of whatever this is.
Yeah, today they would make something like Greenland or The Day After Tomorrow, and they would sit there and they'd be like, I just when we pulled out of the Kuwait Accords, when we stopped worrying about our carbon footprint, I thought the best way to raise awareness that was to have a situation where Gerard Butler, because he's known for his impact when it comes to his charitable work, that have him, the guy from 300, have him fully clothed, running from
gallivanting
waves.
around.
Yes, and that's what I thought was the best way to highlight my deep-seated disappointment in this administration. Yeah.
Great point, Josh said. A selfish director makes something for themselves. Meanwhile, a great director makes something for the audience.
I mean, that's the whole point of The Death of the Author, right? And it's I don't know why it is contended or contentious. There is no alternative to The Death of the Author. When you make something, the second it's viewed by others, it exists solely on its own. This idea that the author's intent, the director's intent, it literally does not fucking matter unless they have the skill to guarantee that it's received that way. Like, we see this all the time with directors who are not nearly as well versed in cinematography, and as much as I hate the term, they're not as media literate as they can claim to be.
Yeah,
you'll often see like movies where the thing that the camera's showing, some directors just don't know that the camera tells a story of its own, right? And it won't align with the thing that they wanted to say. It's not even at that point about the death of the author. It's like the incompetence of the author. Like, you did not have the tools to tell the story that you wanted to. And you'll see very, very dumb people who want to defend the director or like what the director signals that they were saying will say, oh, no. Art is subjective. And what they do is they now take the tools that we've always used to define great directors, great cinematographers, great filmmakers, and they throw it into this like subjective stew where we all know when you watch a film when a shot, an angle, lighting, these things make you feel things, but we have to throw those away because the creator lacked the ability, the literacy
to fall through,
to actually deliver on that.
Yeah.
And instead of just saying, hey, maybe this Nepo baby isn't that good of a director. Maybe they need to learn more about film. And again, making films are hard. It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's hard making films.
But that doesn't give you the excuse. That's not an excuse, by the way.
Yeah, it's not. It's the complete opposite. It should be responsibility.
Yeah.
Films are hard to make. Ask yourself who were paying hundreds of millions of dollars to make films. And maybe some of these people shouldn't be making films. Maybe Maggie Gyllenhaal shouldn't have been given $80 million
to make, which we don't know because we're going to go see it.
It's going to be so funny when I come out of this film saying it's the best film I've ever seen.
Ronnie said, I love that you're talking about this right before you go to see the movie. Have fun. So that's the thing. We're going to see it because I'm so intrigued by the responses I'm seeing and all the reviews I'm seeing, and then even these interviews from her, that I have to see this movie to be able to actually have a like intelligent conversation, because I don't like making assumptions based off of other people's points.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, it doesn't affect me one bit because I will enjoy talking and
the experience,
the experience of the movie, even if the film's absolutely garbage. That's why I hate whenever people are like, oh, if you don't like it, don't go see it. It's like, oh, cool. You just eliminate an enormous amount of people who go see films, not because it's there just to entertain them, but because they like discussing the things that the film does well and doesn't do well.
Yeah. But yeah. So we're going to wrap up because we have to go get ready to hit the road to go see The Bride. So we will see you all tomorrow for Tega. Don't miss it because it's going to be, no, it's not the last one. Because but yeah, we'll be doing Tega tomorrow. It will be a wild ride. There's some really fun topics to get into. And yeah. Kenobi says you're going to see to experience for yourself for arguments. Yes, we are. We genuinely
I have
are.
so much more fun. I would rather talk about something I love or something I absolutely hate. I really don't have a lot of time. You know, when you go into someone's like, you see a film and it's just an absolutely mid film, you're like, it was okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a lot of fun doing that. I'd rather see films all year that I hated, because at least then you learn something about what you like and dislike versus just Hollywood slop. You know, if it's all Jurassic World, right? Like it's it's just all slop.
So yeah, hit the like button on your guys' way out, and we will see you tomorrow. Adios.